The 2021 Cup Series season finale marks the final race ever for StarCom Racing. With the help of former Daytona 500 winner in Derek Cope, the team made its Cup Series debut at Kansas in 2017.
It's whoever's the slowest. They're the easiest to pass.
Not Derek Cope.
Yeah.
I swear that guy's reading a road map as he's driving. Like,
is it a left?
No,
go
turn
left
right,
here?
200 feet. Turn right.
Sometimes in the middle of the straightaway.
At this point in Derek Cope's career, the 1990 season was so long ago. His only 2 Cup Series wins took place that season, while the rest of his career has been known for his mishaps on the track. After making the team's first 2 starts towards the end of the 2017 season, their focus shifted to 2018, where they signed Jeffrey Earnhardt for the first 6 races of the 2018 season.
Just trying to drive it in there as hard as he can, but you see that left front starts to lock up.
Very similar to what we saw earlier in practice with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Had a very similar, he actually hit the wall a lot harder than what we just saw there with Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Once that experiment fizzled out, they were looking for a driver with a ton of Cup Series experience. The best one available was one of the most lovable underdog drivers in all of NASCAR, that being Landon Castle.
You don't know if it broke before. You can see, man, wow, it was a violent crash.
Well, okay, so he said he tried to put some front brake into it. Let's talk about that, right? So he is making an adjustment to help the way the car's driving. Maybe he feels like that he's burned. Maybe he's making that adjustment because he feels like he's got too much rear, or the fronts are getting weaker as they get heat in this practice.
Welcome back. Moments ago, we had an accident. Landon Castle gets in the fence again this weekend. This is a backup car. Tough weekend for these guys.
Big crash there.
There's the caution.
Caution comes out. Landon Castle involved.
You see Jeffrey get loose. It's just side by side through the corner is tough here, and it takes the side force off of the inside car. And if you're in that car, you have to be ready and know that and try to anticipate it. Hard to do, though.
And what a huge impact from both of those cars. You see the 00 Landon Castle kind of got squeezed into the wall, and both of those guys hit really hard.
Landon did the best he could with what he was offered. In 29 starts, he had zeros all across the board with an average finish of 29.7. Joey Gase also made some select starts in the 00 that season, not doing much better. But what baffles my mind about their inaugural season is the fact that they ran not just 1, but 2 entries, the 00 and the 99.
Yellow car.
Watch this.
Just gets real loose.
Trying to hang on to it, but then it takes a turn to the left, and here she comes. This is a hard lick on that inside wall.
Thank goodness for this safer barrier that is there. That softened it a slight bit.
You see that wall rattle and move? Austin did not expect 99 of Cope to come back up the hill that way. That was close.
Cope is just.
Oh, Larson gets a piece of him.
I think he might have got a little help. Looked like old Larson might have gotten into the back of the 99 there, Derek Cope.
Just think that closing rate was.
What part of might is still in question here? What part of might of?
Damage to the front of one car, damage to the rear of the other car. They made contact.
See right there, he's up the racetrack, a little bit of contact, spin. It's just so hard to get slowed down.
Well, that's pretty significant contact for the 78 there.
Watch this impact. Right in the door. Fortunately, Jesse Little in that 96 had gotten slowed down.
Pretty good contact.
The 99 team had a plethora of drivers with Derek Cope, Kyle Weatherman, Garrett Smithley, and Greg Gaulding. But once the 2018 season came to a close, they decided to scale back to 1 car, and wisely so, letting Landon Castle drive full-time in 2019. Outside of his DNF at Indy, he was pretty clean all season. He even led a lap at the Fall Talladega race, the team's only lap led in their history. Despite some of the progress that had been made, they opted to go with a pay driver in their final 2 seasons. The infamous Quin Houff was signed to drive for StarCom Racing for 2020 and 2021. With very little experience in racing prior to entering the Cup Series full-time, StarCom Racing and Quin Houff would get the most camera time ever in their history. Unfortunately, for all of the wrong reasons.
Left of your screen.
You can see they're coming up to put him a lap down. Oh, it looked to me like, Quin just came up a little bit more than what the 10 of Almirola was expecting, and they just touched and ended up turning him into the outside lane. That was a close call for our 10 of Eric Almirola also. Now those Fords had dropped to the back to try to stay clear of all this mess. And you see BJ nowhere to go, tries to avoid that wreck, and then he catches the outside wall.
Something's let go on the StarCom 00 of Quin Houff down in turns 1 and 2. May have been an engine. A lot of smoke and a big slide, ending up at the wall, and the caution comes out.
You saw smoke coming out from under the left rear, or even maybe the left front, Mike. I gotta believe that there was some oil on the racetrack that spun him around.
Can you drive away? No, dude, something blew up. Gotcha.
That settles that.
Oh, looks like, I think that's the 15 there.
It is.
Brendan Poole got loose underneath, comes up the racetrack and clips Quin Houff and sends him sliding sideways, makes a little contact with the outside wall.
Corey LaJoie scoots by. Houff had restarted 32nd.
Already coming around. I don't know if maybe he was underneath somebody. Not sure if that was Brennan Poole possibly, but maybe he was underneath them, tried to avoid hitting them, and the car came out from underneath him and spun all the way around.
The 00 looks like a lot of damage there to Quin Houff.
Now a huge advantage to those cars that stayed on the racetrack.
George.
Oh man, that's a big hit right there.
This just changes everything. Oh, he's coming down to try to get to pit road. Oh wow. Yeah, you can't.
Oh, got Matty D too.
Oh. He did. I'm assuming he was trying to get to pit road and pitting from.
You can't do that.
The middle of the racetrack.
Yeah, so he caught Christopher Bell, the 20 for the 95 right there, and then a little bit of the 21 there.
It's a lot of damage on the 21 car. Obviously, we see Quin with a lot of damage on his car.
Yeah, we're going to have to back it up a little bit more. They're already spun right there.
Clearly contact or something happened between these two guys that got him collected and went for a heck of a spin down the front straightaway.
Looked like the whole right rear was down on Quin Houff's car.
Yeah, he definitely was in.
Here is
more
what
damage to
Houff said.
What, left rear? I don't know. It's off the tire. The tire blew because I ran over something when he threw it off and hit my windshield.
He ran over the quarter panel that came off the 24 car.
I was going to say the same thing. We saw when that quarter panel came off the 24 car, William Byron, it flew back and hit a car, and it was the 00 of Quin Houff that definitely hit it first.
Oh, that was a 78,
actually.
Sorry,
Tilly.
Tilly.
Oh, actually 47 got into it. Looking for left front damage on him.
Trying to slow the car down into turn 1 and 2, and then it's just definitely going to plow up the racetrack. That was almost. Oh, it is a wreck. Hang on to it.
Wow.
Just barely touched the right rear quarter panel against the wall. Great save. Keeps that car in one piece.
She's in the back.
Oh, man.
see the damage, the Permatex 00.
Yeah. Difficult. Looked like a couple cars bunched up down there side by side, trying to get through that turn 3 entrance over those bumps. Let's take a look here. Oh, he got a little help. Down in the corner, looks like possibly Ryan Newman. I hate to...
That looked like Ryan Newman.
Yeah, I hate to assume, but old Ryan might have sent him down in the corner a little faster than he wanted to go.
Here it is. There you see the sparks.
So Quin Houff,
yeah, flat early.
he brings out the caution. It's the 7th one of the night here at Bristol.
In the span of 2 seasons, the progress Landon Castle had made with StarCom Racing was quickly undone. Quin Houff managed to score a best finish of 13th at Talladega in 2020. Outside of that, it was all downhill. StarCom Racing sold its charter and will be ceasing operations after the 2021 season. The biggest legacy of StarCom Racing lives through fellow NASCAR YouTuber WinVal8820. Throughout the team's existence, WinVal has been repping their colors, whether it's on NASCAR Heat or iRacing. Even though he was never an official driver for the team, I still consider him the greatest StarCom Racing driver in its history. Hopefully he'll continue to rep the team's colors for years to come. Another part of the legacy StarCom Racing will leave behind is that they had some of the best throwback schemes for Throwback Weekend. In their first 2 seasons, they were one of the most lovable underdog teams in all of the Cup Series, but in their final 2 seasons, they were probably one of the most vilified. Once they released Landon Castle, it seemed like it was all downhill from there. StarCom Racing seemed like they were building potential towards the future with the next-gen car, but once they were in favor of pay drivers, it was never the same. On the positive side, at least StarCom Racing would go out with one more memorable NASCAR moment.
Here's what happened a few laps ago.
Oh, Bilicki got loose into the corner. They got some issues with that car since he crashed, and he lost the back end getting in the corner. Takes the 00 up the racetrack, and the 00 obviously frustrated, and under caution shows his frustration to Bilicki. Bilicki with all that damage, you know, the track bar, everything's all bent and moved around on that rear clip, and that car's not going to drive the way it is.
RIP to StarCom Racing. And once again, that'll do it for another video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.